No, folks, this is not a headline error. It has happened. Afghanistan, yes, Afghanistan have thrashed five-time Asia Cup winners Sri Lanka by 8 wickets and with over 9 overs to spare.
I think Afghanistan should be disappointed they didn't do it by 10 wickets.
Yes.
That was their dominance.
Yes, folks. The tables have not turned. It is not Sri Lanka thrashing Afghanistan. It is Afghanistan thrashing Sri Lanka by 8 wickets and with over 9 overs to spare. And they have started the Asia Cup 2022 campaign on the ultimate high.
Yeah.
The game was already sealed, folks, when Afghanistan's openers raced to 83 for no loss in the 6th over. Within the power play itself, we felt that they would do it under 10 overs and win by 10 wickets. The only disappointing factor, they did not win by 10 wickets, as Shane pointed out. It was evident when Vanindu Hasaranga celebrated that wicket, he looked so deflated.
Yeah.
The game was sealed, the game was done. And to think, had it not been for Bhanuka Rajapaksa's 38 and Chamika Karunaratne's 30 towards the end, Sri Lanka would not have been able to cross 100.
Absolutely.
So it is indeed breaking news, folks. It's not an upset anymore. Let us remember one thing. It is a testament to Afghanistan's strength as an upcoming nation. So Afghanistan have thrashed Sri Lanka by 8 wickets with 9.5 overs to spare. And they have opened up the entire group. Because remember, this is the league stages that's going to begin. Top 2 from each group qualify into the next league, which is the Super 4s. After that, the top 2 in the Super 4 reach the final. So, sir, dew is there and toss will be a big factor, sir. Akash, well, let me just see.
Let's wait and watch. I think today we can draw no conclusions.
Today, it was a classic case of Sri Lanka not applying themselves, and also for the fact that their T20 record prior to the Asia Cup also was not that good. Let us
Sri Lanka won the toss, right?
Afghanistan
won the toss.
Afghanistan won the toss and they chose to bowl.
Yeah, but I don't think toss really had as much of a factor as much as we kept saying. Sri Lanka have no one but themselves to blame. They really should have batted better.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
I mean, clear. Fazal Haq Farooqi was getting swing from the deck and even in the air in the first couple of overs. But then after that, Sri Lanka just didn't apply themselves.
Absolutely not.
Bhanuka Rajapaksa's one good over against the Afghan Pacers. After that, they threw away their wickets, 2 run-outs. Who do they have? But they have only themselves to blame for it.
Absolutely.
The umpiring did not go their way. Yes, Patum Nisanka was really unlucky with Madana Gopal, the third umpire, giving a very poor decision. I think Sri Lanka never recovered from that. Plus the 2 strikes in the first over itself. And Afghanistan will be doubly delighted by the fact that apart from Rashid Khan, their ace, everybody else got wickets.
And remember, Rashid, they're always going to be looking to play him out because they know he's such a danger when it comes to wickets. It's the same thing which started happening to Bumrah in recent times, wherein teams look to not attack him because they said we'll take our chances against the others. Let's leave him. I think teams are doing the same thing to Rashid now. Yep. But again, you do that at your own peril. Afghanistan have a pretty decent bowling lineup.
Yes, nothing went right for Sri Lanka at all. Not from the toss, not from the batting, not from the bowling. The batting, as I had said, they were already 64 for 6 and they were 80. They were almost 78 for 9. Had it not been Chamika Karunaratne, they would have been bowled out for under 82, which is their worst and lowest T20I score ever. Well, I will not say worst match, that's what Abhay Pratap Singh is saying, but look.
It wasn't a great entertaining match in that regard, though.
Yes, because Sri Lanka did not apply themselves with the bat, absolutely. So
but I think Vansh Jain has an interesting question, which is by watching this, what do you think India should do in terms of, combination? I think if I was watching today's match and looking for answers on team combinations, I would be left none the wiser.
Yep.
Because we didn't expect, obviously, we know for a fact that Afghanistan's slow bowlers do better. But the early damage was done by, Fazal Haq Farooqi getting that lovely banana swing, particularly the second wicket. Massive.
Brilliant.
The kind of swing that he was getting. But I think if you go by if you go by conventional wisdom and you go by what was happening today, you'd see that, I think going with extra spin option probably not the worst idea in the world, because again the pitch is not exactly conducive to free flowing cricket.
Yes, and again if you have to look at the Afghanistan spinners, they are not major turners of the ball. Mujibur Rahman, Rashid Khan, there's very little spin for them.
Exactly.
What is it? There is skid and there is accuracy.
Same with Nabi. Same with
yeah,
Nabi.
he darts it in.
He'll dart it in. Sometimes it'll be skiddy, but otherwise he doesn't really get banana like crazy turn.
So, who do you think India should pick according to? If you're looking for skiddiness, then probably Ravi Bishnoi wins over Ravichandran Ashwin heading into the match tomorrow.
Yeah, but I think Ashwin will get a look in most likely.
Jaddu could be your ace factor in that match.
Yes.
Looking at this way, because remember, it will be played on the same pitch. And Harbhajan Singh, in our Sports Today interview that he had with Nikhil Naz, he said that the first 6-7 overs are going to be very, very crucial. Look at where Sri Lanka lost the game today in the first 6 overs. Where did India potentially lose that game in the World T20 against Pakistan?
It was like Shaheen was getting the ball to swing and no one had any answers. Plain and simple.
Yes. So Fazal Haq Farooqi, a left-arm pacer, but luckily in the other game, India versus Pakistan, there is luckily no Shaheen. And that is why Pakistan do not have a left-arm pacer. They have a left-arm spinner in Mohammad Nawaz. But Naseem Shah, Mohammad Hasnain, and also Shahnawaz Dahani, all three of them are right-arm pacers. Prakasha, Gigi chose Wade over Gurbaz in every game.
I mean, to be fair, look, Ramanov Gurbaz is still very young.
Very young, yeah.
I mean, this was I think the perfect kind of match for him.
Yes.
Because there was really no scoreboard pressure. He could go out there and play his shots. And to be fair, he showed his, level of his level of talent, you can say. We know for a fact he's a prodigious talent. But, I mean, if I were Gigi and I was in that Lucknow Super Giants management, I too would be picking Wade pretty much 9 times out of 10. The more experienced, safer option.
The only problem for GG and LSG at that time, Wade did not fire.
And their middle order.
What middle order?
Exactly.
So that is the thing. Now, Sri Lanka, Mahesh Theekshana tried. There was no scoreboard pressure.
There was nothing for him to bowl at. Absolutely nothing for him to bowl at. I would rather be bowling first than bowl at 106.
Yes. That is the only problem that we can say with this, because unfortunately, Sri Lanka's two pacers, both were making their debuts today. And when you have low scoreboard pressure, it doesn't make for a good debut for them at all.
It's just you're setting your bowlers up, to fail. It's a wild goose chase.
Yes.
You're not getting anything out of it. So, I mean, I don't really blame the Sri Lankan bowlers as much as I would the batsmen. They just didn't apply themselves at all.
Nothing worked out for Sri Lanka. You can say everything that could go wrong with Sri Lanka went wrong today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And remember, the Asia Cup format is in such a way, one bad loss and you're out of the tournament in a jiffy.
Yeah, because you're only getting, 2 matches in the first?
2 matches in this. If you qualify in the top 2 in that, you reach the Super 4s.
Yeah.
And then whoever tops that in A and B, they reach the final.
This now means that Sri Lanka need a very big win against Bangladesh. Very, very big win.
Yes. King D win toss win match will be the formula in the Asia Cup.
I think it's too early to call that because we haven't seen the dew factor or how good or bad it is. We haven't seen that yet.
Yes, but it is a continuation of the trend that is there.
Early signs are not good, but I'm just saying let's wait 3-4 matches before we withdraw that conclusion, because again, I think today it wasn't a case of the toss being an issue as much as it was Sri Lanka, the batsmen absolutely imploding.
Yes. So that
as someone, by the way, pointed out, Baz Ball is back. I think it's too early to say that, but what a win for them against South Africa.
Oh, yes. This is not good news for South Africa heading into the World Test Championship cycle, because remember, they were leading after their win at Lord's. Now they have slipped to second position. But because the gap, 70 percentage points, and the rest is 53-54, they can afford a game to lose, but they wouldn't want to slip up, considering that only 2 nations can potentially threaten that number 2 spot. One is Pakistan, the second is India.
Also, you have to remember with South Africa, I don't know where it was, I was reading an article, I don't remember which publication it was, but they are struggling to attract viewership and sponsors for Test cricket. So the thing is that they are going to be playing the minimum number of Test matches that they can for the WTC. So, like if you compare England, they are playing at least 10 to 15 minimum number of Tests per year. I mean, you can say that it's a crowded schedule, but at least they're giving Test cricket that importance. Australia and England and India to an extent also play. I don't think not similar, but
41, 40, 39. That is the difference.
Exactly. So it's not much of a difference. But beyond these 3 countries, not many nations are looking to play a lot of Test cricket, And South Africa, in fact, in this cycle and in the next cycle, will be playing the minimum number of test matches needed to stay in the WTC. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to be playing less tests, then every match is a must-win, plain and simple. You cannot be affording a loss
Because
like
they'll
this.
play one more test after this, 2 against the West Indies, 3 against Australia. That is potentially your final. Australia versus South Africa could be played at Lords. And imagine if South Africa breaks that heartbreak of not having won an ICC event since 1998.
With the WTC.
It happens at Lords. Because remember, this could have been a reverse. In the 1998 and 2000 Champions Trophies, it was South Africa and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Now, New Zealand have won the inaugural World Test Championship. South Africa could replicate it. But Australia look in prime touch.
Yeah.
And there was one move by Saurav Goyal.
Yeah, there we go.
Very happy for Afghans. They deserved this win. This win is a wake-up call for other teams. No team is a minnow when it comes to this format.
But to be fair, I think, of all the teams that are there, which you wouldn't consider in the so-called Asia top 4, which was India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh, Afghanistan were the one team that had the best chance of upsetting the apple.
Yes.
For the simple reason that they've always been really good in the shortest format of the game. They have a very potent bowling lineup, so if they get you cheap, which is what happened today, they get you cheap, they're winning easy.
And remember, they are drawing on the experience of having played a lot in the UAE. Remember, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah.
They've been playing there a lot.
Yes, Afghans have established their home there also as far as cricket is concerned. Because remember, there are multiple home venues.
One of them is, of course, in India as well, Lucknow.
2 were in India. Noida
And yes.
Lucknow. Now it is the UAE. So they have really got. Anyway, see, Sri Lanka are technically the hosts. But the hosts were outplayed in a venue where Afghanistan are actually the home team.
Exactly.
So-
So, Akash, to answer
Yeah.
your question, I don't think Arshdeep will be bowling too much with the new ball. Because I think Hardik will probably be bowling
Yes,
up front.
yes.
So Arshdeep, they might bowl him 1 over and maybe 1 in the middle. I think they'll save 2 overs of his at least for the death. Because
yes.
they really don't have a death bowler beyond him and Bhuvi. It's gonna be those two.
Yep.
So it has to be those two. So I think Hardik will bowl a lot more up front.
Yes.
And that I'm very excited to see. Because if, Hardik in the recent times that he's been bowling in the power plays, has been getting some swing.
And with pace, and he troubled England a lot
Exactly.
in that T20I series.
Exactly.
So my bowling combination would be Hardik and Bhuvi up front in
Yes,
the power
2
play.
overs for this.
Yes.
And I think you can bowl, Yuzi, Ashwin types. Because both of them are used to bowling in the power
I
plays.
wouldn't be surprised if they would tempt Yajuvendra Chahal to bowl in the death overs. Remember, he is also superb death overs bowler.
Yeah, and
remember,
in T20Is he's done it for RCB too.
KKR fans will take note of that RR game that he picked up 5 wickets, including a hat-trick.
To be fair, no one is throwing the wickets away. Baseball is happening elsewhere now.
Yes, Afghans look formidable. Their colossal experience in this part of the world will help them a lot. I guess this performance has assured Afghans place in the next round.
Not yet, but they would be in with a very good chance because
Yes.
again, if they lose a close match,
Yeah.
then they were definitely in because
Yes.
they've had a very, very big win here. Their NRR and everything would be very, very,
Very
good.
good.
In fact, here I think NRR is going to be very key because
Very key, yes.
you have only 2 matches that you're playing.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure both of these will
Yeah.
be,
Davis cricket is tomorrow match sold out. Absolutely. Absolutely.
it would
India
be
versus
sold out.
Pakistan not been sold out. We are living in a parallel universe in that case. Prakash, especially for Fakhar Zaman, I think Ashwin will play.
Yeah, I think.
Looking at this wicket where there is skiddiness, I think it is a choice between Ashwin and Ravi Bishnoi.
But I think Ashwin will play because one, he
Experience.
clearly has the backing of Rohit.
Yep.
Second, he's not really played that much cricket post IPL. So
Yes.
if you're looking to evaluate him as an outside option for Australia, you need to be playing him now.
Yep, he did play in the T20I series against the West Indies, but he lacked a penetration. And remember, there were a lot of left-handers even in the West Indies team.
Correct. He
But
couldn't really
didn't-
trouble them.
Yes. So just for Fakhar Zaman, okay, I can imagine if he was like bowling to just keep Don Bradman quiet.
Yeah, but Fakhar Zaman
Is no Don Bradman. Let us be very, very respectful and
yeah.
mindful of that fact.
Yeah.
Fakhar is a great player. He's a
Yeah,
good
but again,
player.
he's also struggled for form recently.
Yep.
If you're looking at the top 3, I would argue it's really the top 2 because Fakhar is a bit hit or miss right now.
Yes. Sir, why such dismal show from the Lankans? Again, let me tell you one thing. There was a ray of optimism when Sri Lanka won the ODI series against Australia.
Yeah.
They had won against Australia again in the test matches and they also beat Pakistan. But T20Is is one format where they have been struggling in 2022 and in 2021. Remember, they were not helped in 2021 when they were pooled in the group of death.
Absolutely.
In that their group, there was West Indies, Sri Lanka, South Africa, Australia, England, and Bangladesh.
Correct.
Just think of that group. It was a real group of death. So, unfortunately, Sri Lanka, they will have to win against Bangladesh, and hope Afghanistan also beat Bangladesh. Only then they have a chance of making it. Otherwise, if Bangladesh beats Afghanistan,
Yeah.
that too by not by a big margin, then Sri Lanka will have to beat them by a huge margin to ensure that they make it to the Super Fours. Mohammad Taqiyuddin, this
Yeah, I
last
think-
comment I will take.
Yeah, that's an interesting point he makes. I don't think it's too early for Bishnoi because I'll disagree with that point. Why? Because generally speaking, when you wanted to rest Yuzi, Bishnoi has always been your stand-in.
Yes.
So actually, if he's suddenly pushed down, he has every right to feel hard done by. But I do agree with one thing which he says is that with Ashwin there, your batting becomes just a little deeper.
Deeper,
Just a
yes.
little deeper because right
You
now...
battle number 9. Imagine Rohit, Rahul, Virat, Surya, Hardik, Pant, Jaddu, Ashwin, Bhuvi.
And Bhuvi can tonk a couple.
9. So only Yuzi Chahal and Arshdeep can't.
Don't discount Yuzi. He's won a CLT20 hitting of a boundary.
Yeah. No, he didn't hit a boundary.
No, he scored
Single.
one, but okay.
That
he
was
can win
because
you
of
a match.
Darren Ganga's pathetic captaincy. That's another story altogether. So this game is done. Opening game a dampener, but
Tomorrow is the big day, my friends. It's a very
August
big day.
28th, 6 p.m. onwards, the build-up will begin. It is India versus Pakistan.
The
10
big
months.
game, redemption, revenge, whatever
Yes.
you want to call it, it's all good.
10 months after they were hammered by 10 wickets in the ICC World T20, it's finally back at the ring of fire. Tomorrow will be the ultimate battle in the Asia Cup. One hopes that India get off to a great start. But don't be surprised if the mercurial and volatile Pakistan team...
They're very unpredictable. If
Very
that unpredictability comes through, then India in trouble. But hopefully that's not the case. And we'll see you, of course,
Yes.
tomorrow. A lot of action. Of course, there's India-Pakistan. There's going to be some football action. I'll be covering that for
Yep.
you. And, I agree with you, Sarvesh Pandey. I too am sad that Satwik and Chirag ended up losing out. But they played really, really well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
there's also
Mohammad
F1.
Taqiyuddin, yes, Nikhil, will be live.
He
from-
will, of
He
course.
will.
He's doing plenty of lives even from there.
Yes.
Because, if you're watching a lot of the videos that we're doing, quite a few of them he's doing live only.
Yes.
So there's a lot of coverage there. Go and check that out as well. We're taking your leave for now. But thank you all so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and download the SportsTech app.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night,
Vanakkam,
guys.
and India-Pakistan tomorrow. Bye.